Yes, indeed. When we come in, we do what? We hit that share button because what? Sharing is caring. How y'all doing this evening? Maybe it's Wind Down Wednesday, therapy with a sip. Grown folk conversation, right? It's the People's Podcast, baby. We had an amazing day over here in South Kakalaki, 60 some degrees out here on the East Coast, baby. Yeah, we was out meditating, getting ready for tonight for a grown folk session. It's all about grown folk. If you're grown, I know you in the room. If you ain't, like I always say, if you ain't grown, get your ass out the room. Yes, indeed. So for you, for me, and for us, do this. Go ahead and hit that share button as I'm sharing as well. I'm hitting the share button as well as you all are hitting the share button. So go ahead and hit that demonstration. Let's go ahead and build our audience. Y'all know how we do this every Wednesday, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that something? Every Wednesday we do the same old, and that's all right, right? We're creatures of habit. So I'm dropping these in some inbox and different things of that nature. How y'all doing out there today? If you out there, wave at me. Wave at me. All the big fellas in the house tonight, y'all. 217 by way of the ATL. Big Ben is in the house. What's going on, big fella? Y'all talk to me, wave at me, tell me something. That she is Queen Octavia in the house. That's the ATL, baby. Y'all wave at me, make some noise, do something, put something on the timeline. Peace, God. Peace back to you. Elohim, God, back to you, big fella. Y'all put something out there. Listen, I have an amazing wine for you all tonight. I have a wine that they canned, and we use these like when we're out fishing and different types of things of that nature. And I got a throwback. I got old Andre. Some call him Andre. Okay. All right. You at the gig? Okay. Yes, sir. I better understand. Yes, indeed. Tonight it's gonna be a good night. We have an amazing topic for tonight. The nice topic is, does what you value determine your behavior? And I thought that was pretty interesting based upon what is going on. And I'm going to put something out here for us to have a topic on and communicate about, seeing that it is Black Heritage Time. I don't deal with Black History Month. I don't believe in such a thing. But I do deal with Black heritage, meaning that we teach concerning Black history, whether you want to use the word Black or whatever you want to use, is heritage to me, right? Because everything has been taken away from us, either stolen or just outright taken, or they've used some form of machination or some form or using spells and psychology on us. Oh, come on and talk to me. It's Wind Down Wednesday, baby. Therapy with a sip, grown folk conversation. And I am your host with the most, the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Let me give you all a hand because you all have been hanging in here on these green. Yes, indeed. Give me just a moment here, y'all. I'm jumping in some of these groups. And I will give you my undivided attention here in just a moment. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, fam. So, what's going on with you all? I see you in Wind Down Wednesday. That means that you want to have a conversation. Hey, Shalita, Shalita, what's going on, Queen? By way of 217 out there in Minnesota. Yeah, she out there where it's going on, where they locking people up, snatching them, doing all kinds of things. I know it's not funny, but you got to laugh at it to keep from crying. Is that right? Again, tonight we're going to be dealing with, does what you value determine your behavior? And I thought that was going to be uh, really, really, really interesting. And of course, all of you all know that we, those that do donate, we would love for you all to throw your hat in the circle for a topic, right? For Wind Down Wednesday. And that's all right, right? So let's get into this. What I want to say is tonight's sponsors that are sponsoring tonight's Wind Down Wednesday podcast, the People's Podcast, is the Prince of Peace, JP, Queen Octavia, the Master Teacher, the Quantum Shifter, the Shapeshifter, the Code Breaker, Queen Shalita, Tracy and Anthony Love, Dorothy Wilson, 217, baby, Pastor Singletary, also Queen Kizzy, and none other than T Swin Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast. Those are your sponsors of tonight's podcast, Wind Down Wednesday. Okay. So again, we're gonna get into this. Just if you want to, go ahead and hit that share button one more time. And I'm gonna hit it one more time and we're gonna get at it. Today, for me, of course, as always, I let you guys in on that I meditate to get ready for you guys so that we can have an awesome, awesome, awesome conversation. Right? That's what's up. Okay. All right. Wind down Wednesday. Okay. All right. I see you, Prince of Peace. The Prince of Peace is in the house. Okay. I'm gonna let me introduce to you all some paraphernalia. I need you all to see what I'm wearing, and I'll do it again later. Y'all got to get some of this paraphernalia. Look at that. Ooh, Wind Down Wednesday, baby. And then across the back, it also has Wind Down Wednesday. What's going on, Cuzzo? That's Kansas City in the house, baby. That's my cousin there. What's up, look, Clay? Yes, indeed. Look at that. Wind Down Wednesday. Look at that paraphernalia. Look at that. You all can DM me, and y'all got to get up on this paraphernalia. Also, I have some other paraphernalia for you. Okay. Look at this. Woo-hoo. Let me see if y'all can see this. Okay. Can you see that? You really see it when you put the wine in the glass? Wine down Wednesday. Okay. And then wine down Wednesday. Now, look at this. One glass is larger than the other one. Okay. So one is a red wine glass, which is the one on my left, your right. And this is a white wine glass, right? The reason why the white wine glass is going to be smaller is that you want to taste it at the tip of your tongue. The red wine, you want to taste it at the back of your palate, right? Yeah. So y'all can order these. Y'all better DM me and get y'all some merch, man. All right. Okay. So check this out. Check this out. Wait a minute. Got one more. I got a sipper's glass. Wine down Wednesday, baby. Also a wine glass, right? You can use red or wine in or white wine in here. Okay. So this is what we're going to use tonight to pour up our wine before we get into this conversation. Gratitude, Queen Octavia. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So look at that. Wine Down Wednesday. You can get your merch, baby. Again, look at this. We look at there. Queen Octavia said use a big glass so we could see the uh the emblems on it. I don't have enough wine to pour in the big glasses. My wine, I have a white wine and not a red wine, but we'll put that on display next go around. Okay, is that all right? Gratitude, gratitude. Yes, indeed. Everybody doing good out there? Everybody all right? Okay, now for you, for me, and for us, real quick, I want you to hit that share button. Okay, real quick. Don't take long. And as you all doing that, I'm gonna give you a hand because all right. Then guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you guys a drum roll. So you can get ready to do it. Mash that button. Yes. Why? Because you're in Wind Down Wednesday, baby. Therapy with a sip. Grown folk conversation. The People's Podcast. With who? Your host with the most, the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander, baby. That's right. All right. Let me introduce you guys to this wine, and we're going to get into this conversation because I think it's going to be a really, really powerful conversation. Okay. Now, this is when the fellas and I we go fishing, we'll have us a canned wine with us. Look at this. And this is an old throwback. This is old Andre or Andre. It's a brute. Look at that. Let me see if I can get it up there so you can. There it is. These are really nice. Got probably about 8.5. It's just gonna keep you even killed. So while you're out there fishing, you won't fall off in the water. Okay. So look, I'm gonna pop the top on it, baby, and we're gonna toast and we're gonna get into this conversation. Y'all know we only get 60 minutes. So those that be slow poking around, hey, that's on the 217. That's my boy one for kind of dude. Is in the house. What's up? What's up, 217? What's going on, baby boy? All right. All right. 501 in the house, baby. That's Little Rock. That's Arkansas in the house. Ooh, we about to do it like Roger do it. All right. We're gonna get into this conversation. If someone would please, please do so, as always, put the topic out there on the timeline so that those that come in will see the topic. The topic tonight is, does what you value determine your behavior? Okay? Go ahead and put that out there. Queen Octavia says, never have I ever seen wine in a can. Learning something new already. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, they have all kinds, Queen. All right, y'all. So listen, here it is in our new Paraphernalia at Wine Down Wednesday. Y'all see that, right? Look at that. Wine Down Wednesday. All y'all have to do is DM me and I hit you up. All right. I see you, KD. Here we go. I'm only gonna pour up a bale though. There we go. That's a nice little bale, and then they're gonna charge us $14.99 for that. Yes, indeed. Wind Down Wednesday, Sergeant at Arms. Kiana, baby. Yes. Yes. And we're gonna I guarantee y'all gonna find this conversation um amazing tonight. It's gonna be fabulous. Okay. Here we go. So let's toast this up. Salute, salute, salute. Yeah, I know y'all thought I forgot, didn't you? No, I didn't. I set y'all up. I set y'all straight up. I didn't forget. I just let me just advertise here for a moment. Wind Down Wednesday. Look, we so powerful, y'all. We can go in both directions. Wait a minute. Look, when I looked at what Sergeant at Arms Kiana put out there, y'all listen, it took me to a whole nother realm. Look, she put WDW out there, right? I hadn't paid attention to it yet. But look, if you look at us, you can take us in either direction. Wind Down Wednesday, Wind Down Wednesday. Isn't that something that's powerful? That means that what we align. Ooh-wee. Isn't that something? Queen Octavia says, I think there's a direct correlation on each other. I believe it highlights one's priority, morals, and values. Okay. Okay. We're going to get into something here in just one moment. Listen, I set y'all up though. But let me say this to you. Greetings, Queen Shane. Greetings, Queen. Glad to see you in. Thank you for stopping by and checking on us. Gratitude, Queen. She has an amazing podcast. And I don't know if it's a podcast. Do you have a podcast, Queen? Whatever your information is, Queen, go ahead and put it out there so that we can follow you. Okay. All right. Yeah, you finally caught me live. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Put your information out there so we can find you, so the family can follow you. Okay. Again, here we go. Let's toast it up. Remember, I said salute, salute. I set y'all up. Y'all already know I'm going to tell you what. May you live forever. And what? Shall I never die? Salute. Ooh, wee. That's nice and smooth, y'all. All right. So, look. So, what we're dealing with is what? Does what you value determine your behavior? I want to put something out here by a Nobel laureate. And I want to keep in mind, and you all bear in mind, that we in Black Heritage time, not Black History Month. I don't deal with Black History Month. But what people are angry about, they say, well, they gave us the shortest day. They only gave us 28 days. Well, that's accurate. 28 days is accurate because actually it's only 28 days in a month. How many of y'all know that? If you know that, put a one on the timeline. This Wind Down Wednesday, baby. This is where we come to get it on. This grown folk conversation. How many of you know that actually there should only be 28 days in the calendar, right? They changed it. Yes, they changed it. The calendar should be set by the monarchy or the cycle of a female. How many of y'all know that? A female cycles every 28 what? If you know what it is, put a 2 on the timeline. If you know a female cycles every what? When her cycle is according in all things being equal, she should cycle every what? If you know what that is, put a 2 on the timeline. It should be 28 days. Now, here's what listen, I'm not releasing anything that probably isn't known, but I've taught on this years and years ago, right? But if you take every day out of every month, all of the extra days out of every month and put them in 1 month, it'll create another month of 28 days, and all of the rest of the months will have 28 days in them, right? Why did they do that? To take away the power and the authority that the queen, the female, has. The moon is set on the cycle of who? If you know who the moon cycle is set on, put a 3 on the timeline. Put a 3 on the timeline if you know that. And just a reminder, you and Wind Down Wednesday, baby, therapy with a sip, grown folk conversation, right? It's the people's podcast. If you ain't grown, get your ass out the room. That's just it. But why am I saying this? Because this is very important, because information has been hidden from us. Greetings, greetings. She's in the house. Hey, Pastor. Yes. Hey, Pastor, how you doing? Um, this is important for us to recognize this so that we can get back into proper relationships where we can balance and harmonize things. Things are out of balance and harmony because why? We've been misinformed and what? Disinformed, right? So, women, am I correct that you all on 28-day cycle, right? Which, hey, Queen Kizzy is in the house, which puts you in a line with the moon, right? The moon is feminine. The moon is not masculine. The moon is feminine. Also, factually and scientifically, it has been proven that there are more babies born when the moon is what? Full. Am I right, ladies? If I'm right, ladies, put a 1 on the timeline. If you know that, put a 1 on the timeline. Are we going to talk tonight? And if you want to come up and discuss something, if you have some points, whatever, I'll drop a link on the timeline and I'll pull you right in, right? Okay. So primarily, what are we dealing with? We're dealing with, does what you value determine your behavior? But we got off on, listen, we got off on this, right? 28 days. I promise you, all you got to do is look it up. Do it. Yes. Yes, Kizzy. Cycle with the full moon. Exactly. It's going to be every 28 days that you're going to do that. And that's what the months were filled full of 28 days. February is the only one that retains its natural course. So it isn't fortuitous that we end up with a month in February, or the month of February, where they call Black History. What that is simply telling you is that it puts the Black queen back in authority, or back on the throne, or back in a place where she can represent. We're going to talk about it tonight. We in Wind Down Wednesday, baby. Therapy with a sip. Grown folk conversation, right? And if you ain't grown, do what? Get your ass out the room. Yeah. So most people don't know that. This is why this is why there is disharmony in the universe. This is why Thank you, Sergeant at Arms. This is why disharmony is in the universe, because we are being misinformed and disinformed, right? I taught on this years ago, and my staff, they'll tell you this, that I told my staff long ago that, listen, there's more than 12 zodiac signs. See, there are people that are just catching up with it and putting it out there like, whoa, this is, I've just, no, we've been knowing this. But what has happened is that because of social media, people are now able to disseminate it easier than we were when we were putting out this information. Okay, the 13th sign in the zodiac sign, if you know what it is, put it out there. Ophiuchus is the 13th sign. It is a sign of the serpent. And guess who removed it? The Catholic Church. The church removed it because why? In their opinion, it was evil, that the serpent represents evil. When the serpent doesn't bit more represent evil than Jack jumped a candlestick, right? We can wind down Wednesday. Therapy with the self, grown folk conversation, baby. So the serpent represents eternity. Well, why do you say that, Apostle? You doing a little bit too much. The serpent represents eternity. How many of you know that a serpent molt? In other words, it sheds its skin and it grows, sheds its skin, and it grows, sheds its skin, and it grows, sheds its skin, and it grows. It keeps shedding and keep growing, keep shedding and keep growing. So what that means, that it dies and then rebirth. So, but what what the church didn't want you to know was that particular zodiac sign had the ability to bring you into a place where you rebirth, where you renew without them. That we all, if you'll notice, it's even in taxonomy, it's even in biology, it's in all of that, because we go from what, embryo to an infant to a toddler to preteen to teen, right? We go through pubescence. All of these are stages of what? Rebirth. We're being born again. So no one really want to talk about being born again, except that it's placed in religion. Oh, I think we're going somewhere tonight, y'all. What y'all want to talk about? Queen Kizzy says Libra. Maybe it's the sign you're talking about. It's the scales. Yes, indeed. Uh, Libra, hey, they're gonna bring about balance for sure. Yes, makes sense. The serpent on the medical sign. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's why the serpent. And if you are a student of the Biblos, or the Bible, or the sacred text, you'll know that when Moses was in the desert, he held up Asclepius, or the serpent, or Caduceus, or Caduceus, however you want to enunciate it, which is the serpent that represents what? Healing. It is the serpent that represents healing. Okay, so let's be open enough to be able to hear the kind of information that brings about what? Transformation, because it's what? Information that brings about what? Transformation. Without information, you can't transform. We ain't talking about changing because things what? Only change to remain to be what? The same. We're talking about transformation. We're talking about what? Metamorpho or what? Metamorphosis. We're talking about a complete transformation into that which you weren't when you first started out. This is this is what confuses people. That haven't you ever noticed when you go through transformation, when people see you, they say, you don't look the same. Right. Because why? You molted. You transformed. You took off the old self and put on the new self. In the Hebrew, we call that word aker. Aker means to become what? The next one of yourself. When you become the next one of yourself, chances are people are not going to recognize you. And because they cannot, they're going to say that, you know what, there's something different about you. You don't look the same. You're not even acting the way that you used to act. Why? Because you went through transformation and you didn't change. Because, see, when you change, things only change to remain to be the same. That's why people can trigger you. When people say, oh, that's a trigger, you triggered me, that's because you didn't go through transformation. You only went through change. What do I mean by that? For example, if you take a piece of paper and if you balled it up, let me see if I got a piece of paper. Oh, here a piece of paper. If I take this piece of paper and ball it up, if I wad it up, you see that? That's a piece of paper, isn't it? Okay. Now, when I take and unfold that piece of paper, it's still the same piece of paper. Things only change to remain to be the same. Now, now, if I took a match and lit this piece of paper, guess what happens? It goes through transformation because it turns back into what? Carbon. It isn't going to look like this piece of paper because why? It went through transformation. So that's what happens with us because we're melanated. Because we're melanated and feel full of carbon. That carbon, what it does is it turns on what we refer to as our melanocytes. We have what we have melanocytes. Melanocytes are what produces our melanin. Right? Melanin is what? Carbon based. So when we go through transformation, what we're actually doing is moving our carbon around. Then guess what's going to happen? You're going to get into 666. Who knows what 666 means? If you know what it means, put it on a timeline. I'm going to give you just a second to work with that. And with that, we'll be doing a toast at the same time. 666. 666. Some folks say it's the devil. Doesn't have anything to do with the devil. 666. If you know what it means, put it on the timeline. Salute. Queen Basu is in the house. What's up, Queen Basu? Black Moses Freedom Festival, you all. We're going to be putting that on again June 5th through the 7th. Down in the low country, baby. Down in the Beaufort area. We'll be down there. She's the CEO, baby. The founder. Black Moses Freedom Festival. Shout out to your queen. Ebony Holmes, baby, better known as Queen Basu, Black Sis, Nefertim. Said again, there you go. Thank you, baby. There she go. Look at her. She put it out there. Listen, that's part of it. That's part of it. Oh, Queen Tracy Love is in the house. Yes, indeed. You most welcome. You most welcome, Queen. All right. So six. You get 6 neutrons. What else on that? I know y'all in here. Y'all know what that is. Pastor says the number of man. Queen Tracy Love says she loved Buford. Yeah, 6 is the number of man. That's right. That's correct. But come on, y'all. 666. Y'all in the house tonight? You got protons and what? Neutrons and you got protons, neutrons, and what else? I'm giving it to you. Protons, neutrons, and e electrons. And what they make up on the periodic table, the number 12, which represents carbon. 666 actually represents carbon. Protons, neutrons, and electrons make up carbon. We're made of those elements. Oh, it's Wind Down Wednesday, baby. Therapy with a sip grown folk conversation. If you don't trust me and believe me, y'all got phones right now. Look it up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Nick Nack put it out there. Hey, Nick Nack. Nick Nack put it out there. 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 what? Neurons. There it is. There it is. Thank you, Queen. It's also my name, Nicole, Miguel Weaver. Yes, indeed. Let's talk about it tonight. I told y'all we gonna have a fabulous, marvelous time up in here. So let me pause for the calls just for one moment and let me reintroduce again, you all. Look at the paraphernalia that I'm wearing tonight. DM me so you can get your very own Wind Down Wednesday, baby. Look at that t-shirt. And then across the back also is Wind Down Wednesday. Also, we have wine glasses, family. Ooh, look at that. Wind Down Wednesday. Look at that on there. Ooh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Got one more. Got one more for show. Look at that. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm trying to, because there's glare on it. But that's Wind Down Wednesday, baby. All you got to do is DM me so you can get your paraphernalia. Come on, support. Thank you. Come on, support. Now, with that, also tonight's sponsors of Wind Down Wednesday, Therapy with the Sip, Grown Folk Conversation, the People's Podcast, is the Prince of Peace, Queen Octavia, the Master Teacher, the Quantum Shifter, the Shapeshifter, the Code Breaker, Shalita from out of Minnesota, Tracy and Anthony Love, Dorothy Wilson, 217, Pastor Singletary, baby, and I think that's North Kakalaki, and Queen Kizzy. Also, none other than T Swin, man, can't always be wrong. Podcast, you all. And if you haven't had an opportunity to pick it up, listen. He on point. He on fire. Love is for what? Suckers. I see you, K Vibe. I see you, Ease in the room. Come on in here. If you haven't got an opportunity to pick that up, y'all, it's an excellent read. All right. Now, also, let me put this ticket out here for you all. Listen, if you truly understand what it takes to do what I do, what I want you to do is donate. I'm not begging. I'm asking you if you are able to donate. You can see the Cash App going by and the PayPal going by. Donate, okay? Donate cause you to become a sponsor for Wine Down Wednesday, Therapy with a Step Grown Folk Conversation, the People's Podcast. Oh, this is the People's Podcast because this is where you come to be celebrated. We will celebrate you. We will shout you out, and we are going to read your responses. And if you want to come on live with the host with the most, we will drop a link on the timeline so that you can come up and hang out with us. Let me give you all a hand for hanging in here. You all are amazing. You all are amazing. Gratitude, fam. Gratitude. All right. So let's see what Nick Nack said. We're going to look at what Nick Nack said. And while we're looking at what Nick Nack said, we're going to take a toast. Is that all right? Okay. Toast, toast, toast. Wind Down Wednesday. Y'all can get this paraphernalia. All you got to do is DM me, baby, and we'll send it on the way. Wind Down Wednesday. Listen, we are in balance and in harmony. We are spelt both ways. You can go forward and backwards, right? In other words, you can go from the mother country to the youngest European country. Wind Down Wednesday, baby. Therapy with a sip, grown folk conversation. The People's Podcast. Salute, salute, salute. Please, if you donate, put it on the timeline so we can shout you out. Thank you for your donation, Queen Tracy Love. Gratitude, gratitude. Thank you for your donation, Queen Shalita. And please, if I'm enunciating that incorrectly, please correct me. Shalita. That's a beautiful name, Queen. That's beautiful. Thank you all. Thank you, Queen Octavia, for your donation. Thank you, Prince of Peace, for your donation. That's it, family. If everybody do their part, it's easier for us to do what we're doing, like getting paraphernalia, so that what we can advance what we're doing. See, this is the People's Podcast, and we use FUBU. FUBU is for us, by us, right? For us, by us. This is for us. You can come on live with me. If you send your paraphernalia to me, if you are selling products and different types of things like that, if you send them to me, I would advertise them for free. Are you listening to me? This is the People's Podcast, baby. This ain't about me. I'm just your host with the most. Oh, y'all, come on and talk to me. You're going to talk to me tonight. If you're talking to me tonight, put a one on the timeline. If you're talking to the one tonight, put a one on the timeline. All right. All right. Quickly, I'm going to put something out here, and we're gonna discuss this. I know we've been talking along the lines uh, of some information already, but I want to put something out here since it's Black Heritage time. Let's say that it's a focus on the Black Heritage time, but we're focused on it always. But there is a focus on it during the month of February, correct? All right. So, boy, y'all out there, oh, y'all tearing that timeline up. Y'all get at it. Come on, fam. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yo, it's doing the do, and it ain't the Mountain Dew. Okay. Now, let me put this out here. And I kind of alluded to this before we dabbed into where we went, family. I was talking about a Nobel laureate let me put this out here. Named Roger Sperry. Okay. Let me put this out here. Let me move this out of you guys' way. Hold on. There we go. So that you guys can see that. I want you all to take a look at this, and this is very important. This is a Nobel laureate, right? A European, and this is for educational purposes only, as well as entertainment purposes. Okay. But I want to deal with this, and I'm going to tell you all something that happened for me. My former late professor, peace be upon him, Robert Haining, was a European, right? And he knew the journey and the path that I was on, and he knew that there were certain levels of information that I needed, and that he was poised to give it to me. Okay. And if you all have been in my circle, you all know that I'm a cog. If you don't know what a cog is, you may need to look that up. Okay. And that's okay. Because we're all what? Learning. Okay. And it's all good. Again, I left the information down there for you guys to donate. Okay. Now I want you to look at this. And I'm pretty sure by now you all have gratitude, Queen Tracy Love and Brother Anthony for your donation. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that you all have looked at that, right? And one of the things that is happening for us is that we're not patient enough to wait on information that can correct misinformation and disinformation that has been given unto us. And my staff will let you all know that I taught on misinformation and disinformation years ago before this ever came out. And one of the reasons why we don't talk about it much is because people, oh, he's tooting his own horn. But no, it's facts. Like I have receipts. But look at this. I want you all to look at this and listen to what he is saying. This is a new mentalist paradigm that he put forth because he was a psychologist, right? Check this out. Listen to what he said. He says, what we believe determines what we value, what we choose, and how we act. Now, he's a behaviorist psychologist. Now, look at this. Now listen to what he says. This is important. This is why we're unbalanced and really have no harmony because we don't listen to information that will realign us. Okay. Now, what he says is what we believe determines what we value, what we choose, and how we act. He goes on to say current global crises are all man made. Now, I want to focus real quick and we're going to move on just on the fact that current global crises are all man made. In other words, he says there isn't anything that's happening that is putting us in crises that aren't made by man for educational purposes only. And he goes on to say, and I recap that current global crises are all man made and essentially products of human values and belief. Now you're seeing there the word human, but I inserted the word European because the global crises are not created by us. It is created by our what? European counterparts. Now, when you look at the word human, you'll see that it is spelled hue man. Because why? Hue, man, or human is a compound word. It is actually the prefix hue, meaning colored, and then man. In other words, humans are only people of what? Colored. Not our European counterparts. They are what we refer to as what? Mankind. Because they are a kind of what? Man. And for educational purposes only. Okay? So now, what we're looking at is that the ones that have created the man-made crises are what? Mankind. Or the other kinds of men and not the what? Human or women. Let's talk about it. So now, this is Dr. Robert Sperry talking about this, not me. Now, watch this. He goes on to say, the force of belief in thousands of millions of minds determine how people think, what they value, and decide. Shapes the course of history. And you'll notice, what did I put in there? Y'all know what we always say, it's his who? His story. The other kind of man. Just for educational purposes only. Right? So it's his story. So what is actually happening is all of the man-made crises are based upon our European what? Counterparts. Now, for my European brothers and sisters, listen, we're not lashing out at you. We're not trying to destroy you, because if we wanted to do that, we've been did that. That's not what we're doing, for educational purposes only. But what we are doing is educating ourselves with information, because information brings about transformation. We're not going to buy into your misinformation and disinformation of change, because we know that what? Things only change to what? Remain to be the same. Y'all going to talk to me tonight? It's Wind Down Wednesday, baby. Therapy with a sip. Grown folk conversation. The People's Podcast. Hang on. We getting there. Let me see how much time we got left. Oh, y'all, we only got about a couple of more minutes left. Isn't that something? Okay. The force of belief in thousands of millions of minds determine how people think, what they value, and decide shapes the course of history, and is in no small part responsible for what? Watch this. Responsible. He's putting the blame on mankind, not the human, because we've had nothing to do with this for over 500 years, right? Because our European counterparts have been the leading head in what has been going on. He's been creating what? His history. What is DT trying to do? DT is trying to produce the history of what? Our European counterparts, right? Oh, just take a minute, look at it. He putting it right here. Right here. Look at this. It shapes the course of history and is in no small part responsible for the current precarious state of human condition. Who is responsible for it? Those that are in authority. Who is in authority? Mankind, or other kinds of men, and not human and women. We're not in control of anything, right? So who is he saying is destroying the cosmos? Who is destroying the universe? Who is destroying the world? Who is destroying the earth? Who is destroying Gaia? Who is destroying Kai? Who is destroying the planet in which we inhabit. None other than who? Our European what? Counterpart for educational purposes only. Are y'all listening to me? But I admonish you all to look that up, Dr. Robert Sperry, The New Mentalist Paradigm. It's an essay, and it's very powerful. He gets into some other things that really lends you to being cognitive aware so that you will know how to balance and harmonize yourself. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. If you all want me to go a little longer, what I need you all to do is say yes. If you all need me to go a little longer, say yes. If not, we're gonna go ahead and y'all know how I reached that space, place, and time. Well, I must say. But if you want to hang just a little bit longer, a few more minutes, because I got a little bit more to drop on you. I got a little bit more to drop on you. And I'm looking for a couple of more donors. I know y'all out there. So we can get some things done. Okay. All right. Let me take that banner down. It's been there long enough. If you're going to donate, you're going to donate. Right. Okay. If you want to hang just a few more minutes longer, go ahead and put a yes out there. I say you, Queen. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Uh, well, you can't stop now. We're just in the middle of things. Okay, Queen Octavia. All right, if y'all put yes out there, I'll go a little farther because I got some information for you. This is very important that we get this information so we can clear up some what misinformation and what disinformation. Why? Because we've been misinformed and disinformed. And now we've been around long enough to know the difference between misinformed and disinformed, right? Yeah. Yeah, right. Oh, he in the house, y'all. The master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shape shifter, the code breaker, baby, is in the house. The teacher will appear. All right. Okay. I needed just a couple of more yes. Give me a couple of more yes. All right. While we waiting on a couple of more yes, let's have a toast. Salute. 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 Yeah, look what Queen Tracy said. Yes, indeed. We go. Y'all better come on. Come on. Come on. Like Mike said, chum on. Chum on. Wait a minute. Mike said chum on. Ain't that what he said? He said chum on. He didn't say come on. He said chum on. Yes, indeed. Where y'all at? Wind down Wednesday therapy with the sip, baby. Grown folk conversation. It's the what? It's the people's podcast, right? For you, by you, because you are the reason why that we're here. Okay? Yes. All right. Uh-oh. Queen Octavia, look who in the house. There she is. Hey, Alfie. Okay. Well, go ahead and put it out there then. I see you, Nick Nack. Y'all go ahead and put it out there so we can get busy. Y'all know what time it is, baby. Y'all got to talk to the one. Y'all got to talk to me. Listen, okay. So look, let's go on to this here. I'm not sure if you all know who this is. This is Dr. Bobby Wright. Okay. He has an excellent readout And I admonish you all to pick this up. It's called the Psychopathic Racial Personality in Other Essays. Can y'all see that? I want you all to see that. The Psychopathic Racial Personality. This is by Dr. Bobby Wright, and it was reworded and forwarded by none other than Dr. Um, Haki Mahabuti, aka Don Lee, who is a poet and author. Um, but this is interesting. I want you to take a look at this. Now, look at what we just seen with Dr. Robert Sperry, where he was saying that our counterparts are the ones that are responsible for what? The crises that are happening where in the universe, right? Now, being that this is what? Black heritage focus. Inside of Black heritage focus is what they give us in February, Black History Month. Okay. Now, look at what Dr. Bobby Wright said. He says he knew the mental state of a people caught in a world stolen and remade for who? For educational purposes only. The intuitive one is in the house, y'all. Craig Leverett. Look at that. I need you all to look at that and kind of just think about it. He says, listen, he knew the mental state of a people caught in a world stolen and remade for Europeans. He understood our mental state because he understood that we were captured by psychopaths. This is, listen, you all, it's a short read. I mean, and it's complete, it's concise and succinct. I'm gonna put it up there for you again. Look at it. You can screenshot it or whatever. Okay? You want to get it. I promise you. You want to read it and it's detailed. Y'all, he is describing our counterparts to the T. Okay? Dr. Bobby Wright was straight up pro-black. He did not play. He disqualified anybody that was not pro-black. For educational purposes only, Dr. Bobby Wright did not agree with biracial relationships. He did not agree with that. What he felt like was that you were automatically disqualified if you were in, excuse me, a interracial relationship. You could participate, but you could not be in a leadership position because he felt it was detriment because of the behavior of our counterparts. And in times we don't want to believe that. We want to whimsically, pharmaceutically deny what has happened to us as a people as if it will never happen to us again. Dr. Bobby Wright was trying to warn us of that. Y'all gonna talk to me tonight? It's Wind Down Wednesday, baby. If you're getting anything out of this, go ahead and put a one on the timeline. And I'm gonna position us for another toast. Salute, salute, salute. Mhm. Well, y'all got me through a bell tonight. Let me pour up one more. Don't know if I make it through it, but let's pour that bell up. There we go. Mm-hmm. Mm. Salute, salute. Okay. So did you all catch that? I read it one more time and then I only have a little bit more to give you and then I get you out of here. Okay. He knew the mental state of a people caught in a world stolen and remade for our European counterparts. He knew that, boy, we are, man, we caught up. Okay. Mahogany says she on the train listening. Whatever I walked in on. Hey, Wind Down Wednesday, therapy with a sip, grown folk conversation, the people's podcast. All right. Let's move to this next one, fam. Yeah, anybody want to come up and say anything? If you want to come up and say anything, I'll bring you up. But listen, isn't this some good information? All right, here we go. This our last one, and we'll get up out of here, okay? Now, through research, this is what we found out, right? Through research, this is what we found. What you value acts like an internal compass. It sets your priorities, shapes your goals, and filters your choices. Let's do that again. Because what we found out also through studying is our mind develops survivability based off of the activity that's going on in the environment that you're in. So whatever environment that you're in, you're a product of that environment, right? Y'all gonna talk to me? You're a product of that environment. So what the mind begins to do is create a system of survivability so that you can what? Survive. Y'all talking to me? Now, look at this. What you value acts like an internal compass. It sets your priorities, shapes your goals, and filters your choices. You behave in ways that move you toward. Look at that. What did it say? Watch this. Watch this. You behave in ways that move you toward what you value away from what you don't. Now, here's the clincher. Look at this. Look at this. It says, often, automatically, even when you don't realize it's happening, it becomes innate because why? We've been taught and reared and raised that way based upon what environment that you come out of will determine what was implanted in you. See, when you have been instructed and been given proper information that programmed you, that even when you get into a situation, automatically that which have been given unto you will serve you. Anybody in here tonight? If you're in here tonight, put them clapping hands out there. Can y'all put them those clapping hands out there? If you're in here tonight and it's coming on round, go ahead and put them clapping hands out there. See if I can beat you all. Go ahead and put them clapping hands out. So what we value acts like an internal compass. Isn't that so? That's amazing. Even the sacred text tells you something that train up a child in the way that should go. And when they get of age, it nor them will depart from each other. It's actually what it is saying. When you teach your child the right way when they age, what you taught them would not depart from them. Neither will they depart from it because why? It's going to automatically give them the ability to reason. One of the things that we've lost is the ability to do what? Reason. Reason is powerful and it is important to reason, to have the ability to reason. The ability to reason comes from the fact that you were properly instructed when you were a child. It's Wind Down Wednesday, baby. Therapy with a sip. Grown folk conversation. Yeah, I think yeah. Y'all go ahead and breathe because I'm breathing. I think I've held you guys long enough. Yeah, I think I've held you guys long enough. Yes, indeed. Of course. It's Wind Down Wednesday. Therapy with a sip. Grown folk conversation. The People's Podcast. Gratitude, gratitude for all of the donations. Gratitude for donating your time. That's a donation. I want you all to know that I love you. I look forward to doing this. This is what I do, right? If if no one ever donated a dime, guess what? I'm gonna do what I do because this is what I live for. This is my purpose, right? My purpose is to disseminate information that brings about the informing of where you've been misinformed and disinformed. Okay. And note that, family, always recall that there are those of us that know, and we don't try to give it to you all at once. We walk you through it. And there's a tendency for people to somehow believe that, oh, that's just too parochial, too elementary for me to listen to. And well, one of the things that I found out that when you get to foundational information, parochial information, what that does is it allows you to establish a substructure. And I'm gonna get you guys out of here. It allows you to establish substructure. A substructure is beneath what we call a foundation, right? See, so when you are getting those little subtle elements of information, it seems like well, it's not in the no, it's building the substructure so you can properly have a foundation from which to launch from. Let us not be confused in terms of when information is being disseminated. More often than not, we have to be repetitive because why? Misinformation and disinformation has been repetitively what? Downloaded in us. So now we need to be repetitive with proper and more complete information so that we can harmonize and balance things, right? Isn't that so? Yes, indeed. All right, fam. I'm not going to hold you any longer. We've been up in here. But listen, We reach that space, place, and time where I must say, hold what you got, muse over it, cogitate upon it, ponder on it, meditate upon it. But by all means, do what? Govern yourselves accordingly. One love, eternal light, peace, power, prosperity. In the words of the Prince of Peace, excellent health. Shalom Aleichem Mishpachar, meaning peace be unto you, family.